Last time on Shadow Piece, Absalom and Sanji decided to separate themselves from the rest of the group in preparation for the Winter Solstice Festival tournament. What a mouthful. Meanwhile, Moria learned a bit more about the history of Elbaf and set his mind on being a neutral judge on the entire situation. While all of this was happening, the outside world kept on suffering. Big battles were being built up, and it's only a matter of time until a big war breaks out that will make the War of Marineford look like mere child's play. Our eyes will remain on the Shadow Emperor and his actions on Elbaf. For now, he will just spend a relaxing time with all of the giants. So, after a quick talk with Hyrodine, he casually walks back to the capital and approaches a group of giants standing next to the battle arena. As soon as the Elbafians notice the human, or, well, Moria doesn't really look like a normal human, he's more like an onion, but as soon as they notice him, they are alert. Our shadowy main character decided to go for a menacing walk, unleashing a bit of his fear aura. This outsider is giving these brave giant warrior goosebumps by just walking towards them. Their instincts are telling them to stay away from this creature, and yet their warrior spirit pushes them towards the danger to test their own strength. Moria enjoys a good show of power. Making others respect him is like a good meal for him. Hello there, can I join in on this little conversation? A first step to form a connection. The giants stumble over their own words until one particular bearded fellow takes the lead. So you are Gecko Maria, huh? The papers said you died, but that must have been a lie from those government guys once again, I guess. Apparently the giants have questions of their own. Moria's situation is quite confusing, especially so if one wasn't in Wano while the raid was going on.
Oh, I did die. However, even death itself isn't enough to stop me from achieving my dreams.
Moria doesn't like to have the spotlight on him, but bragging a bit about his new powers should be fine. Confusion can be seen on the faces of the giants. Death should be final. For their race, a glorious death might even be the greatest honor imaginable. Dying and going straight to the legendary place where warriors rest, feast and battle forever is the greatest dream for every giant warrior. Even if they asked more questions about the Shadow Emperor's death, they wouldn't necessarily understand it more, so they returned to their previous conversation. Okay, as I was saying, even though we learned that Mother Caramel was actually selling our children to the world government, we at least had someone that looked after the orphans. I think that was better in the past. Having recovered from the shock of Moria appearing, another giant returns to his heated attitude for discussion. Are you serious? You can't say at least when she was literally selling our children. Think about it, she is also the woman that raised the monster Linlin. There's nothing good about this. Ever since Mother Caramel disappeared, Elbaf had a problem with orphans. As a warrior nation, adults dying is not uncommon. But there's no one specialized in taking care of these children, the people that lost their parents. However, the giants from Elbaf don't know anybody that can do that work for them, and trusting another outsider once again is trouble they don't want. A third giant still has something to say. We don't need a foreigner to raise our children. If every adult just takes care of a single child, that should be more than enough. Once the children are able to walk, they can even become the apprentices of their adoptive parents. With that, we won't have any problems. It doesn't matter if it's hunters, gatherers, or some craftsman people. We can just make the children work. For people that normally get judged as being nothing but meathead warriors, the giants are actually discussing deep and very complicated topics. Moria listens to them for a while, and he quickly understands the giants are in need of help. But they obviously wouldn't just accept his support. But that begs the question, how would they react if he enters his Zoan form? In that state, he's even taller than most of the giants. Would that make them think of Moria as one of their own? Well, for now, he will keep it as a backup idea. And now he enters the conversation himself.
You do apparently have a lot of problems in this nation, but I have yet to see any of these orphans you are talking about. Where are they?
This comment actually makes the giants somewhat happy, all because that means that a visitor doesn't notice the bad side of their country. It is quite simple, Moria. The partners in a relationship that take care of the home are tasked with at least cooking for some of the orphans. But the number of children gets reduced quite often as there is nobody to watch them when they go out to play in the wild. As a warrior nation, we see death as something natural and normal thing, especially if it happens in combat. Cultural differences are the main thing we can get from this conversation. While the giants from Elbaf do care about each other, they put the warrior rules above normal caretaking. Just a group of men talking with each other. As the time progresses, Moria finds more and more chances to join the talk. Spending his time here has proven to be productive in forming a closer relationship with the giants. While the captain of the Strawhat Pirates is talking, his crew members are busy elsewhere. Absalom and Sanji are working on strategies for the tournament. Keeping the cook's leg-only fighting style in mind, they need to work with everything they have, because they are already limited. The other two members are Perona and Brook, a duo that didn't get to spend a lot of time together until now. And let's be honest, they don't really have much to talk about together. It's an awkward silence between the two, and Brook strolls along the way while Perona floats next to him. To break the silence, Brook says, "Yo-ho-ho-ho, may I see your panties, Perona?" The Shrine Maiden of Death looks at the skeleton with disgust before just answering, "No?" Perona is the last person to like a pervy joke, especially after she spent 2 years with an aloof gentleman. But she also has something she wants to ask her Nakama. "Be serious for a moment, Brook. We two are by far weaker than Moria and Absalom. We are the weakest in the crew. Don't you sometimes, feel useless for them?" Perona's expression is somber. She wants to support this crew that's like a family to her, but with every passing day and every new island they visit in the new world, she seems to fall behind even further. Although Brook acts like a pervy old man most of the time, he is still the one with the most life experience in the crew, so the best he can do is share a bit of his wisdom with Perona. "Little lady, strength isn't everything, but you are still young and you have a big potential. Just like a flower, you will one day bloom, and all these worries will seem insignificant to you. But I might also add that Captain Moria could even hope for you to stay just the way you are. After all, no father wants to see his daughter walk into danger." This puts Perona deep into thought. She wants to be helpful, but making Moria worry about her seems counterproductive. The easiest solution would be to just become so powerful that no one can be a threat to her. He didn't mention himself because Brook puts himself in a more supportive position most of the time. He doesn't have to say that Perona is heavily underestimating him. All he needs to do is fight against whoever opposes the Strawhat Pirates. Going all out is not necessary in every battle. Together they stroll up a hill until they reach the top of a mountain in the center of the island. This place is nothing special. All it offers is a view over the entire island and a simple hut in the middle. One thing Perona has adapted to after spending 2 years with Mihawk is relaxing and taking in what the world has to offer. With the wind blowing through her hair, Perona looks even more beautiful than ever. Truly a princess. A princess, or if you stare too long, death will be crawling up to you. Knowing that she is the daughter of Gecko Moria, most people wouldn't probably dare to approach her. But now Moria is officially dead, so that might change. And in this very moment, from the inside of the hut, two eyes are staring straight at her. The Shrine Maiden of Death and the Death King don't even notice their observer's presence, even though both of them possess observation haki. What mysteries does this island of giants still hold? And what will the members of the Strawhat Pirates do in the upcoming future? That and all more in the future episodes of Shadow Piece. But that's all for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it. What do you think will happen in the future? Today's episode was a bit more political and deep, I guess, because we saw Moria talk about the problems in Elbaf with some of the giant males over there. And then we also had Sanji and Absalom take care of training, but keeping Sanji's leg fighting in mind. And then there was this discussion with Brook and Perona at the end. And this sort of person spectating or staring at them. I wonder who that is. But that's all from me for today. All that's left to be said is stay happy, stay healthy, and most importantly, stay cultured. Pyro out. Bye!